everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to cover the 2009 VCAA Language Analysis exam. I have previously done other VCAA exam analyses before, including 2001, 2002, and 2016. So I'll make sure to link all of those for you. So we're going to annotate together and I'll just talk you through my thoughts as I'm picking up particular techniques. But once this video is done, I'll also link you to an equivalent blog to this video where I write down my complete analysis for you to read. I tend to find with students that a lot of people tend to forget the background information. They kind of skip over it and just go straight into the analysis just because they're, super keen to get started, which is completely okay. But don't forget that the background information often tells you things that are critical for your understanding of the analysis. So for me, the first bit here is that online journal. By publishing an article on an online platform, Voxy, the author of the first article, aims to target tech-savvy readers. And these type of readers would be more inclined to appreciate technology than other people who are probably reading newspapers or other avenues that aren't online. So to begin with, we have our title keyed in. And this is a pun of sorts to me. Obviously, we're talking about technology and having keys is like keys on a keyboard. But then at the same time, when they say that you're keyed in, it's almost like you have VIP access to something special. So the next example is some people are naturally afraid of the new, challenged by the discomfort of being dislodged from the known, the safe, the predictable, the tried, and the tested. In short, their own comfort zone. With this introduction that acknowledges potentially the opposition, some people are naturally afraid of the new. I think what Voxy is doing here is pulling in the people who might not necessarily be open to this idea. He's almost saying to these people, it's okay to feel that way, but you're in your comfort zone, so why not reach out and expand yourself and explore something new? If anything, this makes him look more rational and considerate, somebody who is understanding of different people's points of views. Maybe they have a point. By admitting that those who are opposed to technology might have a point, what Voxy is doing here is quite conniving. He's manipulating readers to see him as somebody who is genuine, as someone who's behaving fair towards this topical issue. Then he goes on to the other potential audience, which are the people who are excited by new things and new technology as an implication. They see possibilities for making things better where other people want to chill, just responding to the pleasure of the moment. So what this particular paragraph is doing is almost pushing up the people who are excited about new things. There are a lot of positive connotations for particular words throughout this passage. Excited, further horizons, expanding universe, grab the future, make it happen. Voxy is trying to coax us to respect and admire these people who take action because their actions seem to be so vast and expansive and beneficial for them. When human beings have been moved forward by people who have been like the grit in an oyster. So the people who are moving things forward are technology advocates in this particular context. And Voxy calls them gritty people, essentially, which urges us to view these people with admiration because their dedication and determination is what has actually produced pearls, allowing society to reap its benefits. This sort of ties into the previous point just before about the expansiveness of these people's actions. They are so excited about what's next to come that they're the driving force that gets us there and that positively impacts on society as a whole. Next is the well, sort of. This use of colloquial language is supposed to position Voxy as somebody who's, casual, just a friend of ours who's chatting with us. And by giving off that friendly, approachable vibe, we are more likely to listen to him because we see him as one of us. The ones who ask questions, who tinker away in the garage, who turn up on the inventors. Again, there's more positive characterization of technology advocates. They're the people who question the status quo, which is who ask the questions. They tinker away in the garage, which shows how hardworking they are and how much effort they put in these technology developments. And so it would seem like such a waste if we were to just disregard it. Okay, just a quick pause. Hopefully you're following me as I'm analyzing this article. But if you're still finding it troubling and not really getting the hang of language analysis and why I'm, picking out certain language techniques and analyzing in the way that I am, then it might be a good idea for you to check out my How to Write a Killer Language Analysis. In that particular book, I go through from the foundations through to advanced tips for language analysis. So things like how you should read an article, what you should be looking for in terms of arguments and language techniques, what you should do when you get stuck and you can't find any language techniques, and basically how you pull all of that together into an A+ essay. There are plenty of essay examples in there for you to read through, along with annotations on the side, so that you know exactly what you need to do and what not to do as well. So going back to our analysis, he talks about Copernicus, Galileo, and Darwin, 3 people whose works have absolutely completely changed the way that human society works. And so he's saying here that we don't actually need these people in our current time. There's something that's even bigger that is happening right now. So it almost makes us readers feel like if we're not jumping on board with this, then we're missing out. We're missing out on this big thing that's approaching us very quickly. The next word I find interesting is revolutionizing. So sometimes we can just pick out words to analyze. You don't have to analyze an entire sentence. But I think the word revolutionize is an attempt to instill in readers' minds that there's a dramatic change currently occurring in society. And so we should try to keep up with this new world that's happening. And it's exciting. Revolution is always, theoretically, for the better. Again, Voxy likes to acknowledge the opposition by saying, some people who fear our humanity will be diminished. Some fear that this will reduce human intelligence, replace human memory, displace cognitive function with an increasingly sophisticated artificial intelligence. So in a similar fashion to what we've seen up here, by juxtaposing this comparison between the people who fear our humanity will be diminished with the people who acknowledge that it's revolutionizing the way that we communicate with each other, he's trying to make it really obvious how beneficial technology can be and how limiting it is for the people who believe that technology will just ruin humanity. He then goes on to talk about what will happen when technology is adopted and is furthered. And he's talking about things like cures, he's talking about preserving the planet, ending war and violence. He's almost structuring it like it's the be-all and end-all solution to all of our problems. And sure, it's a bit of a hyperbole, but there's a point in that, and it's to try to really demonstrate to us just how much benefit we will reap from adopting and furthering technology. Last bit is, why wouldn't you want that in your life? This final rhetorical question urges readers' support since it's apparent that there's no reason why you shouldn't accept technology, especially since in the future it will lead to you having a happy, safe, and fulfilling life. It's like the answer's right there, so why aren't you taking it up? Obviously on this page there's a copyright restriction on the image, so we won't be analyzing that, but if you do have the image then you can go ahead and analyze it. So I wanted to talk about this part. It's older people who are less familiar with it, who are suspicious about it, or even afraid. So here Voxy is creating a dichotomy between older people and the younger generation. And so Voxy is trying to manipulate us into believing that only the elderly are the suspicious and afraid of technology, whereas other generations like you and me should really have no issues with welcoming the digital world. Next, we've got global shopping. Through referencing everyday modern activities like global shopping, Google Maps, Facebook, readers might be compelled to join the population in using technology, since it's clear that these digital advances are convenient and they can optimize our daily lives. So if they've already proved themselves, why aren't we on board? Voxy then goes on to talk about the solutions to things that you could be potentially scared about. So we're encouraged to support Voxy's stance, because by being scared about privacy issues, it's really not a valid point, because he's offering you a direct solution. So once again, it's encouraging us to jump on board with technology. Besides, hot air balloon people are always hovering over my backyard and looking into my windows too. So I thought that this was funny, and it's a bit of a humorous tone that gives a bit of a switch throughout the article. Again, it might link back to that colloquialism used earlier on, but Voxy is trying to come across to us as someone who's relatable, someone who gets us and is a friend. And we can kind of chuckle and potentially have experienced it ourselves, where we've had hot air and balloon people, or, you know, airplanes, whatever, I don't know, but looking into our lives. Voxy is attempting to assure readers that online privacy is no less risky than their privacy at home. Next bit is appeal to convenience. Why go to a library when you can sit down at your desk and look at Wikipedia or Google Scholar or Ask Jeeves? No one uses Ask Jeeves anymore, so this article is starting to get a little bit dated. But in general, we can sense that there's this sense of convenience, and we don't have to go out to a library anymore to do all those things that we want to do. So again, this is optimizing our lives. Let's be excited. Keep getting excited. Inclusive language, tying in once again with the colloquialism, tying in with the humorous tone. It's that collectiveness. It's bringing us all together as one to have that same stance. More juxtaposition would be swinging in trees, huddling in caves, if we'd taken the view that new things are harmful or dangerous or unpredictable. So I call it juxtaposition, but you could call it anything else, honestly, as long as you can back it up. What Voxy is doing here is reiterating to us that without taking risks, we wouldn't have come as far as we have now. And readers like you and I should really keep pushing forward that digital development and the technology that comes with it. Then I think it's quite funny towards the end. Voxy gets more aggressive with the people who are taking the opposing point of view. At first he was saying, yeah, I get it, like some people just like to chill, be in the present moment, that's just how you are. But now he's going, you are a loser if you are not jumping on board. He's being quite aggressive now, and I think that makes sense because it's coming to the end of his argument, and he's already pushed forward to you all these different points as to why technology is beneficial for us and society, that he's honing it in and he's going, look, if you still don't get it now, then sure, but you suck. So that's just an introduction into my analysis for this particular article. I would love to hear what you guys have written up. Write it down in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to go through the comments and mark them for you. So, you know, always here to help you out. I haven't annotated absolutely everything that I saw, and that's because I want you guys to try to do it on your own as well. So let me know if you've got any questions, and thanks.